again to another episode of the BBC podcast. I'm Phil Lindris, here with the owner of Baseball Card Exchange, Steve Hart, and we have a really cool topic to talk to you about today. Today we're going to talk about what we think, or what I think, is sort of the sweet spot of the hobby in 2026 as it relates to vintage cards, and that is the 70s and 80s. Steve, we're going to bring you in on this particular subject. Over the course of the past couple years, I've noticed at shows, as it relates to vintage cards, what we call now 70s and 80s. Hard to believe 80s is considered vintage. I've seen sort of a sweet spot in 70s and 80s all the way around. Talking about graded, ungraded,
unopened sets, set builders. Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
Why is that, you think?
I think it's because of people my age, my generation. We collected it, and we enjoy it. It's when we bought cards.
Yeah.
And they are up to 50 years old, 55 years old.
It's hard to believe.
It's still semi-affordable.
Right.
You know, you get into 50s and 60s, and some of the high-grade stuff just isn't attainable by a lot of people. So it's affordable. It's the timeline of when people now who have the disposable income to be able to afford what they remembered and what they bought as a child.
Right. You've had a shop for a long time. Were 70s and 80s ever really, big sellers as far as singers?
A perfect example is I started doing shows in 85 and 86. And I was at a major Chicago convention, not a national, but we used to have some large shows in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I remember a dealer's table. This was probably 1985. A dealer had a table with nothing but 70s stuff, cards, single cards, and, large repetitions, stacks of Brett rookies and Yount rookies. And the dealers would walk by, and we all giggled to each other. It was like, that guy's not selling anything this show. Who's buying that?
Right.
And he didn't have very good sales. Then this was it just wasn't old. In 1985, these cards were 5, 10, at the most 15 years old. Now picture that today. That'd be like somebody setting up with cards from the 2010 to 2020 era.
Right.
Which, yes, has some valuable cards in it, I understand. But, imagine somebody with a table with average stuff from that time.
Sure.
It just wouldn't be all that exciting.
Right.
And now if somebody has a table of high-end 70s cards in their showcases, well, the lines are deep for people to get in there and buy that stuff, especially raw.
There you go. There's the key, too. We say high-end, so when we say high-end as it relates to 70s, we're talking about near mint to mint 1970s cards that are raw.
Yes.
Boy, they're hot at shows.
Yes, because they are attainable. You do a little bit of searching, a little bit of groundwork, and you could come up with some stuff.
Right.
Maybe not 71 Munson, but, a lot of the Hall of Famers you can find in nice raw grade.
Yeah, especially at the shows, sets. Any sets that are decent in those years, people seem to be paying strong for a near mint set.
Yes, yep. That never used to happen either.
No,
a long time ago.
No, it's very much changed. I've been doing this, at Baseball Card Exchange for almost 7 years as the buyer, and what our prices we were paying on sets, near mint sets 7 years ago, as opposed to today, is totally different as it relates to 1970s.
Yep, I sometimes get caught up in so busy I am that I forget things, and I still have ideas in my mind.
Right.
The other day I had to look up the price of what a 73 Topps baseball set is in the Beckett. The first number in my mind was $1,200.
Yeah, no.
It was $3,000.
$3,000, right.
Yeah, I mean, that was unheard of not too long ago.
Right.
So
no, albeit, while the price guide says $3,000, to be a $3,000 1973
it has to be very clean.
It has to be very clean.
But I'm just picturing what Beckett would be in my mind, and I'm thinking, 12, 13, 14.
Exactly.
It's $3,000. 76, I think, is $1,000.
Right.
And that was a set, that never had a major rookie Hall of Famer.
Nope.
It does have one, but it's not a major, popular A-lister.
Right.
And I remember $200 all day long, buying, selling them for $250, $275.
Right.
It now lists for $1,000.
It's
hard to believe. But then again, in high grade, that's a good value.
It is. It's a very good value.
Yep.
These are cards that were mass-produced. I mean, not mass-produced
compared to 87 on up.
Right. But they were mass produced.
Yep.
They are out there. They're in a lot of collections,
Mm-hmm.
and finding them at shows, finding them on people's tables at this particular time is very tough. And so there's an increase in 70s cards, especially 70s stars, being graded with PSA or any of the graders, especially with the prices, even with the prices going up, I should say, of grading all the way around. There is still a great contingency of dealers that are looking for 70s cards to grade.
Yes. The prices of 10s are still mostly unattainable for most people. Near mint cards in grade 8, mostly all affordable. Again, there's a few examples of 71 Munson and a few others that are large money. But most of the 70s Hall of Famers in a nice near mint grade, all affordable.
Yeah, they're very affordable. I like, as you know, getting autographs, and I look at, like 75 rookies, Gary Carter, for example, in a 7. I think that's just a little over $100 right now.
Yeah, yep.
In a 7, in a near mint 7, Gary Carter, which may seem high to some people that collected these in 75, but at the same time, a 7 and an 8 isn't even that expensive, in at least as much as I think it should be. So this is why we're saying it's sort of the sweet spot.
Right, yep.
So
it's
maybe
the age, the people who have the disposable income to afford those,
right,
who collected those at that time, and then kind of are disinterested into the mass production of the more modern stuff.
Right. So 70s is a good place to start. Maybe you're watching this and you're going, man, I want to get into the hobby again. It's been a while. 70s and 80s up to 85.
Yep. And for basketball, the whole decade of 80s.
Yes.
Hockey, almost the whole decade. Baseball kind of evens out around 86, 87 for the mass production. But for some of the sports, it's the whole decade of 80s.
And in my opinion, which I don't know if that's worth anything, but 70s basketball graded is, to me, completely undervalued. There's not a ton of it out there.
No.
And it's very affordable.
Yes.
To people today.
The rookie Hall of Famers, too, in that decade are highly affordable.
Most people don't even know the rookie Hall of Famers in a lot of the sets. The Alex English, the Bernard Kings, the Dennis Johnsons, the Jack Sikmas. They don't even understand. Like those are Hall of Fame rookies, and they're very cheap. And there's not a ton of them. One, I guess, off question here. Print runs. If you have baseball in the 70s produced at this amount.
Okay.
Is football produced less than baseball?
Yes.
Okay. And then is basketball produced less than the other two?
Yes.
Yes. And
obviously hockey the least.
Okay. And if we said 100, we gave the value of baseball 100, what would football be?
I wish I knew. I wish Topps would have always released print runs, but you could never get it.
Take a guess. We're not holding it to you. Just me and you.
Half.
50. Okay. Then where do we go with basketball?
25.
25. And then hockey?
10.
There you go.
Yep. And that's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just going by all the collections I've bought over the decades.
Yeah.
Always baseball. Then football. But then hockey and basketball at times are not in collections at all.
Right. And so these, especially, hockey is very affordable as well. And
you get the pre-70 hockey almost non-existent.
Correct.
When we buy collections.
Yes, agree. I don't ever see it.
Yep.
And then you get 50s hockey, and it's almost impossible. But again, 70s, 80s might be a good place for you to start. Might be a good place for you to start buying. Seems like it's hot with the dealers right now. And if it's hot with the dealers right now, then obviously that trickles down. So 70s and 80s, maybe you're not familiar with 70s all that much. I'm more of a kid of the 80s. And so I had to learn about the 70s. I was born in 79. I sort of had to learn about those cards. Couldn't afford them when I was a kid because those Nolan Ryans were maybe $4 or $5 when I could have got an 80s Nolan Ryan for 50 cents or $1. But I've really fallen in love with 70s baseball again. And
for those of you that are still purists of the sport, baseball was still played in the 70s and 80s like it had been for long generations.
Right.
Today it's a little different. The game, the players. But but the 70s and 80s still, I still love that era of the game that was played.
Yeah, yeah, me too. They had great hair in the 70s.
Oh yeah, and they were skinny guys.
Yeah,
Yep, they didn't look like athletes a
Absolutely.
lot of times.
Yeah.
Not overweight athletes, just skinny.
And the 70s has given us some of the greatest card. I mean, the Oscar Gamble, was it 76 tops? That's a great card.
And some of the photography.
Yes.
Again, the 71 Munson. Not just talking the rarity and the value, just an unbelievable
Yeah,
image on that card.
Yeah, it is.
The 76 rows of the face shot, and some of the photography is great.
Yes, some really iconic looking cards out there.
I like the
Familiarize yourself.
basketball cards with the afros.
Oh yeah,
The hockey players with the mustaches and the longer hair, and going back to the basketball with the pork chop sideburns.
Right.
Those are great too.
yeah, yeah. So if you're watching this episode, maybe comment below and tell us some of your favorite cards of the 70s. They don't have to be stars. They just maybe just cool looking cards, funny looking cards. But comment below. So that's about it for this time on sort of the trend here, what we think is hot, what we think is the sweet spot. Hope you enjoy this episode. Happy collecting. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.